Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our La Liga career mode here with Sevilla. We are back today with the finale of the save as we will take on Arsenal in the Champions League final. In the last episode we wrapped up the La Liga trophy and also defeated Bayern Munich to reach the final where we will take on Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. They lost the final last year to Real Madrid, so we'll be looking to avenge those demons, but for us it's our first ever Champions League final appearance and I'm looking to make it our first trophy. We're going to dive straight into the game, then we'll do a final look around the save. Vamos Sevilla. Right then, we are off and underway here at the Metropolitano, so still on Spanish soil, which might have a slight impact on this final. Of course, we were La Liga champions in the last episode and we're looking to round off the season with a Cup and European double. And that is not a good start. Well, what a start to this final. Bradley Barcola. I mean, it's a lethal front three that Arsenal have got. Isak, Barcola and Bukayo Saka. And it's the Swede into the Frenchman who link up to give Arsenal an early lead. Well, I couldn't even get my introduction out the way before Arsenal strike. And that is not a good start for Sevilla. Well, we had a crazy end to the Stoke City save. Our last save on the channel, if you guys remember that, as Trubin denies Yasser from a tight angle. Crazy Champions League final. And we could be in for something similar here today, as we've got a goal down early. As Yasser does well, great footwork. Sanchez finds Piqué. Oh, it's brilliant. Piqué denied, as there was a bit of a gap at that near post. And again, Trubin is equal to it. Well, it has been a frantic start here in Madrid. And we're losing by 1, but we could easily be 2-1 up. As Piqué finds Amin, looking to get back on level terms as quickly as we can. As quickly as we fell behind. And Amin, Piqué! We are back on level terms and it's been coming. And it's the Spaniard who gets the goal. 20 minutes in, we've already had 2 goals in this final. And I'm sure there are going to be more to come. Is the Arsenal skipper, Odegaard. Look at the space for Saka. Isak can't give him that much time and space. And Kepa does well to get across his goal. It's Odegaard, the Arsenal skipper. And Kirchu finds Martin. Barcola brings the ball inside. Barcola, great defending by Sal, but it'll come for Isak. Back heel to Barcola, and that's a good stop by Kepa Arrizabalaga to deny him, as it rather fortuitously came for Barcola. Odegaard's corner is swung in, but that will drop behind for the goal kick. Well, chances at either end, and Kepa with a big save to keep us level. Just getting underway in the second period, and I think in this second half we've got to try and attack down our right hand side, because Martin's getting very, very high and Rudiger is, I think, the weak link in this back line for Arsenal, playing quite a high line, and with the pace we've got in behind, I think that is the area of the pitch we should be trying to exploit. So we're going to try and get the ball to Yasser down this right flank and target Antonio Rudiger in this second half. Corner for Arsenal here. Swung into that near post. Pedrosa heads away and Couto finds Yasser. And look at the bodies we've got forward, as not really the man you want there, Jibril Sal, but here is Yasser down this flank. Lovely break. Yasser across the box for Piqué. And it's a little bit sweaty in a Champions League final, but I don't care one bit. Yasser picks out the Spaniard who scored in both legs of the quarterfinals, I think both legs of the semi, and now has 2 here in the final. It's been a fantastic run in the knockout stages of this competition, and he couldn't miss once Yasser put it on a plate for him. From a goal down in the opening 5 minutes, Sevilla now lead by 2-1 thanks to the Spaniard. Odegaard looks for Rudiger. And I can't really say that my plan worked. It was from a break from a corner, as Isak is denied by Kepa. Yeah, it wasn't really a break down that side. that we caught Arsenal out. It was from the corner where they had practically everyone forward, as that header from Larsson is over the top of Kepa's goal. A big save and then a whisker wide from the Swede as Arsenal hunt for that equalising goal. Pedrosa fires that out to Yasser. What a pass that is. And Yasser beats his man. And still Yasser across for PK. It's a hat-trick of tap-ins, but the Spaniard won't care one bit, and neither will the Sevilla fans, as he literally scores 3 identical goals in the final and joins an illustrious list of players who have scored a hat-trick in a Champions League final. I think we've deserved it over the course of the game, and he is literally a few yards out on the goal line, can't miss. Sevilla have a 2-goal cushion and just 15 minutes to see it through. Saka, Timber, oh my goodness. Well, he has just absolutely ripped that into the net from a ridiculously tight angle. I was trying to mark the cutback to Isak, thinking that Timber wasn't really the danger. You can see me move Kike out the way, and then as I tried to come across, well, what a strike from the Dutch defender, as I thought that might be enough for us to, well, actually Kepa really should save it, but I thought the 2-goal cushion might be enough for us. But that is just going to make it very nervy heading into the final 10 or 12 minutes. But we're almost there. And I don't really want Sanchez venturing over halfway, but just got to keep this ball as PK. Look at the run of Pedrosa. And he's going to get there on the second ball. And Pedrosa still. Lovely skill. Pedrosa! Oh! What a brilliant way to end off the series with one of the OGs and one of the leaders in the team. He's worn the armband a lot with Barde going down, and Adria Pedrosa's had a fantastic campaign this season, and what a way to top it off. A wonderful individual goal as he cuts in off that left-hand side, smashes it through the bodies, through Trubin, and into the back of the net, and that is going to do it. Sevilla will be Champions League winners for the first time in their history. And it's going to be Jibril who has the chance to lift the trophy. And I have to say, I really do love playing career mode in La Liga. I think it's so difficult to compete with Real Madrid and Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, and it's taken us 4 years to get our hands on La Liga, and now to go with it, Jibril Sow to lift the Champions League. As I say, it's taken 4 years. We won 2 Super Cups, which I don't really class as a major honour, but we never managed to get our hands on the Copa del Rey, which proves how difficult cup football is in Spain. And as I say, 4 years to get our hands on the La Liga trophy after we bottled it last year. We said we'd give it one more run this season, and Jibril Sow leading the team and lifting the trophies as well, both La Liga and the Champions League, that he lifts aloft to those Sevilla fans. And what a way to close out the save as well. I said, as I mentioned, we would give it one more season, and I couldn't have asked for a better way to close out the save. Well, there we have it. Sevilla are your Champions League winners this season. A reminder of our route to the final. We did finish in the top 8 just about in the league phase, so bypassed the playoff. In the last 16, we defeated Monaco by just a single goal to nil over that 2-legged affair. In the quarterfinals, it was a crazy tie against Real Madrid, which saw us overcome a 4-2 deficit in the first leg to head through to the final 5-4 on aggregate. And then we defeated Bayern Munich, I'd say relatively comfortably, in the semi-finals, which of course took us to the final where we defeated Arsenal. 6-goal thriller, and Sevilla getting their hands on the trophy for the first time in the club's history. As for the Conference League, it was PSV beating Brøndby in the final. A bit of a surprise package in Brøndby, beating Roma in the semis. Fair play to them, but falling up short to PSV. And the Europa League was won by my boys, Chelsea, as they defeated Man United 6-2 on aggregate in the semi-finals on their way to beating Fiorentina in the final. We obviously lifted the La Liga trophy last episode as well. If you haven't seen that, definitely go back and check it out. And we had a bit of a full run through of the league table. Obviously, we mentioned that we won the Super Cup earlier on in the season back in January, beating Barcelona on penalties. And it was Barcelona themselves winning the Copa del Rey, beating Villarreal in the final by 2-1 to ensure they did not end up trophyless this season. So out of the big teams, it was only Real Madrid who did end up trophyless this campaign. No Champions League, no Copa del Rey, no Super Cup, and no La Liga for them as well. But yeah, what a season for Sevilla. Champions League winners. And let's go and take a look through the squad hub one final time in a bit more depth. So yeah, to close out, we will have a run through of the players' stats. We'll go through it in a reasonable amount of depth. Of course, Kepa playing in the Champions League this season. 6 clean sheets in the competition, none in the domestic cups. But he did feature 19 times as our backup keeper. He made a few howlers throughout the course of the season, but generally he was pretty reliable. But of course in the league it was Gregor Kobel that started all of our fixtures with 26 clean sheets in 38, and I actually think I should have kept more with him, but I sort of bottled it towards the end of the season. But what a signing he turned out to be. One of 4 players up to 90 overall, and yeah, a record-breaking 26 clean sheets in La Liga. Pedrosa at left back obviously scored in that final. What a campaign for him. 30 years of age now, but I would not be replacing him if we were heading into a further season. 4 goals and 2 assists, and probably his best season in a Sevilla shirt. Wore the armband a fair amount this season as well, with Gibraltar not featuring and Bardet down injured. He was fantastic. Ouattara didn't feature too much, just 14 appearances, but he did get 2 assists in the Champions League. And yeah, it was difficult to get him in the team with Pedrosa playing so well. Obviously, Bardet, as I mentioned, did go down with that 7-month broken tibia. If you look at his stats, 16 clean sheets in the 20 appearances that he made in the league. When he did go down, we were still good defensively, but we were nowhere near as good when he was playing. Koulibaly, decent squad player. Again, him and Salas kind of shared out the game time when I was resting either Bardet or Gila, but it was mainly Loic and Mario Gila, who, again, really good season for Mario. 2 goals and an assist, which is pretty impressive alongside 25 clean sheets in all competitions. He featured a lot for us, especially with Bardet going down injured. As for at right back, Sanchez, a phenomenal season for him. Just 24 years of age still. 5 goals from right back this season. He was absolutely phenomenal. Does look like he stopped growing, which is a shame, but he felt like he was playing like an 84, 85 rated fullback. He was absolutely brilliant. And Fresneda did a decent job when called upon as well, when Sanchez needed a break. 2 goals for the Spaniard, and again, really solid player, can play on both sides. And yeah, with a 4-star week for really, really versatile and just a good squad player to have. Beñat Prados didn't quite make it to 90 overall, but into the high 80s. 49 appearances in all competitions, 2 goals and 5 assists, and the man can just do it all. I absolutely love him at the heart of that midfield. He's just so well rounded, gets around the pitch, wins balls back, gets us on the front foot, and scored a fair few goals as well over the last couple of seasons. Beñat Prados, definitely one of our better signings throughout the course of the save. Juque didn't feature too much this year, no goals, just the 1 assist. Most of those appearances were off the bench. Bina, again, didn't have the greatest of campaigns, just 2 goals and 6 assists. And he didn't really light up as much as I thought he might when we signed him. But I think that's because a lot of our play came down the right and through the middle with PK and Amin. But yeah, 88 overall. Again, another player into the high 80s. Jibril, again, into the final year of his contract at the start of the season. We gave him an extension, and to be fair, as club captain, you can understand why. 25 appearances, no goals but an assist for him in La Liga this season, as he featured in half of our league games. And a lot of these guys in midfield, Sal, Frendrup, Agume, they didn't really feature much because Prados and Gavi were our main two starting in the heart of midfield. Morton actually had a pretty good season going forward with 2 goals and 4 assists and did really well in the Champions League. Agume, again, didn't feature too much this year, no growth on him, but still a decent squad player to have. Can fill in at centre-back as well if needed. And for Cameron Puertas, he went on that crazy run a few episodes ago where I think he scored all 7 of those goals in La Liga. Ended up with 9 in all competitions. And yeah, had a bit of a strange end to the campaign where he just went on a really good run. And one of our first signings of the save, he's been with us since we signed him back in season 1. And just a really, really solid all-rounder. And again, as I say, that crazy run at the end of the season will always be remembered. But it was Pablo Gavi who started in midfield next to Beñat most of the games, up to 91 overall. And again, he had a really good goal scoring season, 6 goals, 3 assists. A lot of those goals came early on when he returned from that 3-month broken toe that he had in his first game. But yeah, a really, really good midfield partner for Beñat Prados. And I love the aesthetic of wearing the number 9 as well. So authentic. Aymar, really good season for him. Again, lots of his goal contributions coming in the Champions League, with 7 of his 9 goals coming in that competition. Was really, really good in the more early stages in the league phase and the early knockouts. 2 goals and 5 assists in La Liga as well is pretty solid. But he struggled to get in the team over this man, up to 91 overall. Actually, probably his least effective season in terms of numbers. 12 goals and 19 assists is still pretty impressive, and up to 91 overall, as I say. PK with a hat-trick in the Champions League final. What a time to get it, and that is probably his best performance in a Sevilla shirt. Yasser on the right-hand side, again, he's a difficult one because his numbers don't look that great. Only 3 goals, 14 assists is pretty impressive, but I think a lot of our play goes central through PK and, of course, Amin Gouiri. But yeah, the 14 assists in all comps is pretty impressive, and I just love him down that right-hand side. He's so silky and so smooth when you get him on the ball. I did really enjoy using him this season. Barros had a great season out on loan, and speaking of youth players, Helder Couto, what a breakthrough campaign for him. 5 goals and 8 assists, up 4 overall to 85, and yeah, as I say, what a breakout season for Helder Couto. He definitely would have been pushing for contention on that left-hand side next season with Bayern not having the greatest of returns, but you look at his numbers, 5 goals and 8 assists. When a lot of them came off the bench compared to Bayern, you can see why he was pushing for the starts. Isaac Romero didn't actually feature as much this season, just 23 appearances, 5 goals and 8 assists. Again, a lot of those coming in the Champions League, especially in the league phase when we were resting Amin Gouiri. But obviously, when we got to the knockouts, Amin was starting all of those games and ended up with 40 goals in all competitions. Obviously, reached 40 in the league last year and joined the illustrious 40 club. Just fell short this season with 37 goals and 11 assists, and completely snubbed of the Player of the Season award, but did make it into the Team of the Season. So yeah, what a signing he proved to be. I said when we picked him up, he could end up turning into an absolute superstar, and that he did. 90 overall as he joins PK, Gavi and Gregor in the 90 club. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Menendez didn't really feature. Decent a third choice striker to have, but we probably sort of stunted his growth by not playing him much, as you look at Marcano and Cabrera out on loan. But yeah, what a season for Sevilla. Amin Gouiri and PK, the real stars of the campaign, leading it in the way for goals and assists. And I just love the team that we built. It was so well-rounded. I love how much our fullbacks got involved in the play this season as well, with Pedrosa and Sanchez having phenomenal seasons. And yeah, as I say, just a really well-rounded squad. Using that 25-man squad limit, we created a really well-balanced squad for the season. And it ended up paying dividends this year with the La Liga trophy and the Champions League wrapped up as well. But guys, that will do it for today's episode and the save as a whole, as we will end on the trophy parade, flaunting our La Liga and Champions League trophies. And our next save will be starting very soon, guys, so keep an eye out on the channel, and we may be back looking for more trophies such as La Liga and the Champions League in that save. I'll catch you for it very soon. It will be our last save of FC 25. I'm really excited to kick that off over the next couple of days, and I hope to catch you for it soon. Take care, guys, and